Hello guys, welcome back to Learning Feed the Beast. So I haven't done too much on the world that much lately, and I've been trying to think of a way to finish off these designs so that I can just finish them and make nice little floating platforms and not have to worry about mobs at all. And I've kind of done some work on that. So I've got tungsten blocks here, lead blocks here, aluminium blocks, and then these ones actually, what ones are these? These are steel blocks? Yeah, blocks of steel. So just playing around with a few different colours, seeing how I like them, just playing with them. So that's why that looks a bit weird, and that's why it's a bit sort of semi-done. And today though, I want to look at improving the FPS and lag on this world, because it is getting quite bad already, and I haven't got too much stuff loaded up, and it is quite annoying me. So there are a few things that are creating lag on this world. One of them is harvesting. Now there's not too much I can do about that one. Other things is the animations on these, there's quality of these doing lava, that's another thing. Animations on them I can't really do anything with. Engines are a big problem, but I'm not going to be moving them. But I think I can do something with these ones over here today. So I want to look at the MineFactory Reloaded. It's a cool little mod. It doesn't support too many other ones though, it seems, when I've been reading all the wiki stuff. So there are some things in it which are really cool, which I want to put in. So one of them is the auto enchanter, because I am sick of coming here and just getting books and me going, yeah, there's a book. Now I don't really use enchantments, but it's a nice thing to be able to do it automatically. And also I've been playing with the stuff in creative and looking at them. So there's some things I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be looking at the deep storage unit. I'm going to look at the auto enchanter. I'm going to look at the grinder, liquid routers, and also lava fabricators. Now this is what's going to hopefully cause less lag down there creating lava. And to make these sort of things you need to get this raw plastic, which you get from just smelting down rubber, and then you can make them, and then you can make these factory modules, and that's basically all you need to start making these with a few other ingredients. So I'm going to set up some deep storage unit stuff, and I'll be back to you in a minute. Okay, so by now you're probably quite familiar with barrels, and you're probably familiar as well with the extender barrels like these, where you can fit up to something like, oh well, there's 1,024 stacks of an item, and when you break that you lose most of the items because they're over a 64 stack. So there are some advantages about deep storage units from this mod, and what happens is they can store up to 2 billion or 2,000 million of any item. So you put the item on the top, and at the moment I've just stacked it up to the barrel array here, and they interact the same as barrels. So I've got items coming in, I've got a few trickling in from these just to get them going, so they're just coming into here. You see this number keeps going up. Now what happens is there's one in here, and you just keep taking them out if you want to, or you can put them back in, put them on top, and it goes in. So it's a nice way of doing this, and the biggest advantage is that you can break it and you get it back, and it actually tells you what's in it, so you can just move it around and not need to worry about it. Really good for storage, but they have no way of knowing what the item is unless you look into it, which is bad. Now this works the same way as any sort of block, so the same way as the Steve's carts works. There are ways you can put things in and ways you can put things out, so you can transfer things around quite easily between different places by using these, but just using these as a barrel, they're much more efficient, especially for sort of deep storage needs. Now they're different from the applied logistics, because the applied logistics you need power to be able to store the stuff and access them, whereas these, they're free, no energy needed at all, and there's quite a few bugs in them. They don't support quite a lot of mods for different things over the whole mod as a whole. But if you just grab this with a gun, put it back, you keep getting more of them, which is definitely a bug. Yeah. They're very cheap though, but fender pearls, no, you can just replicate them at the moment, which is not what they're meant for. But we'll transfer all this stuff over very slowly into all of these, which is quite nice. But that's deep storage units. That's what I'm going to be using them for. Like I said, I'm not going to use them for over here because you can't see what's in them. But yeah, that's the only disadvantage I can really think of, that you can't see into them without picking the barrel itself. So that's them. That's them done, don't have to worry about that. Now let's look on to these lava fabricators. Now, these, if you put in 20,000 MJ, they will make a piece of lava. Now, at the moment, I'm doing the cobble, and the cobble takes 24,000, so they should actually be even cheaper. Now, I don't know if they'll interact with these pipes at all, but if I just place one of them here, that looks like it works. And let's look at this. So the power's going up, and we'll just see if this starts making, oh, it is making lava, look. It's blinking there. So every bit there, it starts making a little bit of lava. I'm not sure how much a bucket is going to be making a go. In theory, it's only getting up to about 1,000 MJ, I think. If you just put on here, actually, we'll see this go up. So when it gets to the top, it makes one bucket. Okay, yeah, 20,000 MJ makes one whole bucket. So that's good. So there's no animation apart from that when it's full, I guess. So these will never show an animation on them. They'll just keep pumping them in. So I can remove all of these now, all of them. I don't need these igneous extruders either now, because these aren't needing anything to melt. So they use less power to make the lava, and they don't give animations, and they don't need anything else on top of them. So that's really good. So I'm going to replace all of them, and then I'll be right back. Okay, they're all in place now. I've added some more as well. So these don't need a certain amount to make one lava. They'll make a bit of lava every 1,000 or so MJ. So they are constantly pumping out. They don't need to wait for having 24,000 in them to make a cobble into a piece of lava, nor do they wait for the whole 20,000 to get one bucket in here. So these are going to be always producing a constant stream of lava, or much more constant than it was before. So there won't be any blips in supply and demand. Should be quite nice. So I added more pipes to make sure I got it all out in time. And there's no animations on the front of these at all now. They're not filling up at all. So that's really, really good. And I feel some FPS increase already. But we can see what else we can do. So, if we get past that. So a couple of other things I want to look at today to begin with. So we've looked at lava fabricators. So now I'll look at a way of killing mobs and collecting the stuff really easily, because I don't want to be using all these turtles here. There's only a few of them, and these as well. I don't really want to be using these. I want to be using just one simple little thing. And with the MineFactory Reloaded, there are a couple of things in here to help us. So auto enchanter, then we've got a grinder, and we've got these liquid rooters. So what these grinders do, you need to supply them with energy. It's the only difference between these turtles and these will examine an area around them and then attack. So put that down there. Okay, so the grinder sees an area of 5 by 5 in front of it. So let's see, the front of the machine should be this side, I think, and the back is this side, and the items will come out the back of it, and you also need to supply it with power. So what we're going to be doing is supplying it with MJ, because you can give it MJ or EU, I believe. Yep, MJ or EU. And in this, every kill it makes, it will generate 1,000 millibuckets of monster essence. This we then need to pipe out with a liquid router, I believe. I'm not sure if I have to use pipes with this. I will play around with this until I get to work. And then it sends it to, and I'm going to send it to auto enchanter. So this will then fill up with monster essence in here. I then put a book in the top and say the temperament level enchantment. I believe that's how many levels of enchantment you give it, and then it will automatically give that an enchantment, I believe. Have not tested it out yet, so it should be cool. So I'm going to play with this and set it up for this thing here, rip this bit out, and then I'll be back to you with some progress. Okay, so set up something that I'm quite pleased with so far. I've got 6 grinders here, and they are very loud, so we'll turn the sound off. So these grinders will kill a mob every so many ticks, and they have a little tiny cooldown period inside them, so that they only kill them once every so often. So I had to add more than one to make sure that all these mobs be killed, and as they'll kind of reset at the same time, you'll get a bunch of them and then they'll get killed. And so far it seems to be able to keep up with a tier 5, which is quite pleasing. And items come out the back. As you can see, I'm just sending them through to a tesseract, and also I'm sending the swords to go straight to induction furnaces to make more gold. So that's quite good. And then these top pipes take all the essence, monster essence out. We'll see that coming on in a second. And they come into these two enchanters here. So all I've got in here is monster essence and a book, and this one's now finished. So what this does is it builds up the monster essence inside, and then when you have an item in here, let's put a book in that, then you'll start a work period. So there's a certain amount of time it needs to take to enchant an item or a book or anything else, and this is the level that you're enchanting at in here. And then as an idle period as well, so that's not really that important for a book. But if I was to put another book in both, see that the monster essence starts to be used up as it does work. At the moment there is some stuff in the pipes already, so that will get drained out first. But for just killing things, instead of using turtles, these are incredibly nice to use if you have the power to do it so. More expensive power wise than turtles, because power from turtles don't take anything, but from these they do. And these are just very nice and actually very anti-lag. No computer craft stuff, so that, I'm really quite pleased with that so far, and they seem to be working very well. So, and this bit here, I haven't set up anything to do this automatically. I'm assuming I could use a router to insert books into here, because you only put one at a time, you can't put more than one. Just have a router sending one in, and then having a router extracting them out, and there'll be a fully automatic infinite crafting thing if you keep doing it like this. And these aren't escape or anything else, so they're really nice. I'm really pleased with that actually, really am. And also getting more gold. Not that I need it, but more gold is more gold. So that's that set up. I'm going to go turn that spawner off now, as I don't really need the gold or the enchanting, but that would be a nice thing to do to start to remove some turtles around the world, because it does save on the lag. So next thing I want to start looking at, I actually didn't need these liquid routers at all. Which I'm quite disappointed with, so I'm going to try and play with these. I might try and see if I can find something to do with them before the end of today. And we've done the grinders and we've done the auto enchanters. So there are another load of things that I want to do. So I want to stop using this, or we'll keep using this one for collecting the wheat, because it's very nice to use, and this probably will be the most efficient way of getting the wheat, because it's just really cheap. I also need to test, as we're now on the 1.02 version of the ultimate, if the soil, the Xycraft soil, mixes with these, if it actually works or not with this mod. And also look at some of the MineFactory Reloaded harvesting and planting systems. So I'll check these bits over here, and then I'll be back with a new setup. Okay, so I've been playing with this for a little while, and I kind of worked out how to use them. So I'm going to make a new thing over here. So let's make a hole in the ground, let's just say here. Now, first thing I'm going to use is the actual planter, if I can get down there with these boots. So first of all, I'm going to look at planter. Now planter needs energy and it needs seeds. So I put seeds into there, and then I'm just going to use a nice easy energy tesseract in, like so, and it'll start planting that. Now that's giving you a 3x3 area. If I put some stuff over the top, it'll do that as well. But it also needs some water really, so put some water on top, so that keeps it done like that. And then what we have here is some emerald upgrades, so put that in there, and that can now go a 11x11. So you can see this massive square starting to be made, and this is going to need water as well, I'm assuming. So if I just count out the actual space it needs, so 4x4, so it's going to need to be, let's just say there. No, let's go here. I'll just put this dirt back in. So I'm just going to map out this water, and then we'll be right back. Okay, even though it said the range upgrade gives an increase of 11, it seems to be a bit more, because this seems to be about 24, 25 wide, which is a bit more than I was expecting. It planted in a weird way, but this may be legitimate, I guess. Just a bit bigger than I expected. So you need energy to go into this for your first bit, and that's okay. We then need to get something to harvest the wheat when it's grown. So there is actually the fertilizer thing as well, but I don't really think I want to be using that because I don't have a steady stream of bone meal coming in. So we'll go for the harvester next. Now this needs to be on the side. Now it's a bit more weird because it only harvests in front of it that I've been playing with so far anyway. So I need to actually have 4 of these, I think. So put one there, and that's obviously gone the wrong way around because that's the pipe out. So what I don't really like about this one, there is actually a tool to do the moving, but I'm not going to make one yet. So this thing can do multiple harvesting. So you can make this harvest things like cocoa beans off of trees, so that these settings can not cut down the trees if you want to, but we're not really bothered here. We put on the upgrade as well. This is the biggest upgrade you can have. There are small ones, but this is it's just emeralds, and I have plenty of emeralds, as you know. So this also needs power, so let's put some power into that. We'll put that in. We'll put it in. Could go top or bottom. We'll go for the bottom and just do that. So it's got energy now. So that'll start harvesting anything around there when it's fully grown. And I believe it's not going to reach all the way over here because of it's going to be a range. I don't know actually. We'll have a little look at this. And when I was trying it before, it only sort of harvested randomly now and then. Not like, see that one there is done, but it seemed to be a random time until it found that one. I'm not really sure how they work completely. So this can need a chest to put them into. Now I can either put an obsidian chest behind it, I guess, and it put the items in, or I can just put a item tesseract. I'll leave a chest there for now, just so that we can see anything's been harvested. Okay, so that's that going in. Now we need to work out how to get seeds back to this. Now I can just have an item tesseract coming back to here, that's fine, don't worry about that. For the moment I'm just going to leave it like that, I'm not going to put the seeds back in it. I could always have seeds actually coming from this, so where the seeds coming from here, I could have it going, instead of going through the pipe into the item tesseract down there, I could send it along to that over there. Could be an idea. So, oh, it's already harvested some, there you go. And I'm going to have it so that it goes through an item router and then sends the seeds back. Would be the most efficient way of doing it. I think we'll do that though when I finish. So that actually found that wheat all the way over here. As we saw, it's now gone. So they might actually reach the whole thing. Could be interesting. We'll leave it running for a little while though. After a while of running, I believe that it's going to be working fine. Now I think that it's actually harvested all the ones along here from over there. We will check that though by planting some more of these and just make sure that some of them get caught. And I've gone ahead and routed the seeds back to the planter. It got that one at least, just there. So it works its way around, it seems, and it finds them. So all of them are actually fully grown. If one of them gets taken, then we'll know. So I've gone and hooked it up and I worked out how these things work. And this is an item router. They're relatively cheap. And I also tried to use an injector. Now these, once you put stuff into them, they then fire them into pipes and things, I read on the wiki. But they don't really seem to work how I want them to. So this item router acts as a diamond pipe. That's basically all it does, but it's very cheap, which I quite like. It doesn't look too bad either. So each side has got a face, just like the diamond pipes, and just like the things like this. And I've got one side going to the wheat, going to the item tesseract, and then the seeds going back downwards into the actual thing itself. So you see there's a seed going down now, if we can just get down there with it. So that goes along, goes up. Now it will need some sort of overflow, so with these gold seeking pipes I can just have maybe 2 more pipes going that way and an item tesseract going to an overflow, which I probably will do. Not now though, don't need it. But now I want to look at something else in this little pack which I've been playing with in creative a tiny bit, and I will add into that setup as well, which I can't even find in the wiki, and that's one of these. a bioreactor. Now this turns things into biofuel, which I didn't really expect. Doesn't take any power. So I'm going to set something up for this and we'll be right back. Actually, I'll configure this thing over here to use the bioreactor, and I'll be right back with the show. I've gone ahead and put 4 of these bioreactors in. They're relatively cheap, and there are a range of things you can put into this to get biofuel. So I've gone ahead and where we have down here, as this goes down to the other bit, I've just led a pipe from under this. I'm going to fill this up as well. So all the overflow goes into a pipe under here. It comes up under here, goes to these 4 reactors, and I've just got some pipes out going to the biofuel. So what can actually go in these? Well, as I can't actually find anything on the wiki at all about this, I've just been guessing and trying stuff out. So seeds go in, don't take any energy at all, and they've got an efficiency thing there. I guess that's how much biofuel you get in millibuckets per thing, and then it's got a little buffer inside of it as well, and then it goes out into the out. So seeds work, we know that. And then cocoa beans also work. And then also wheat then does not work. So then as we've got the whole system at the moment moving sugarcane into biofuel, you think, can we use that? Unfortunately, sugarcane doesn't work. It would be really cool if it could, because it doesn't use any energy. But saplings do work. So that's really cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Very nice way to convert everything. So that's just pushing it all through, and that's fine. Now the system will just keep churning out all of those seeds that come from that into biofuel. This will produce extra wheat, which I'm going to send to the system. So that's actually a really nice little thing. And the only difference between this and the cart really is that the cart takes no energy at all, but this one does. But nah, not much of a difference. This one's better if you want to be less laggy, I guess. I hope, maybe. Although this tick thing in here, I don't know if this does anything. And by the way, this makes some sludge as well. This sludge you can pipe off and send to a sludge processor, and it can be made into energy. But we're not going to be doing that because what I can see is not efficient at all. So that's a nice little setup to have. We've changed up a lot of things. I'm actually increased my FPS quite a lot today actually. I was quite surprised about that. These are definitely better for me, and also doing changes around here without turtles, that seemed to help me as well. So actually really pleased about that. We still have a nice lot of stuff from the MineFactory Reloaded, and I'm kind of at the end of things that I want to do as world. I want to do the AE system for storage. I want to finish off these areas as well, but I'm really looking for more stuff to do. I'm sure I'll do bees at some point, but I'm not in any rush to do bees because so many people have done bees already. So I'm kind of looking for more ideas to do in the world. So do please suggest them. It's really important that you do suggest them. I've been focusing a lot on vanilla, so I'm only coming on here when I've got a really nice thing to do as a suggestion. This way, this MineFactory Reloaded stuff I really like. It's a nice neat little thing to do. So hope you've enjoyed, hope you need some suggestions, and I'll see you next time.